I need to, you are going to protect me, Mr. Chair, please.
I am protecting you, but I have to protect you for your own self.
And I am going to continue the point, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So please, guide me.
Yes.
I am saying, when I listen to the opposition, one of the clause that they have in there is to find out the problem that affect the staff. That is one of the problems they want to find out. Is the government is allowing, whether you want to go with commission or not. So let's say put away an inquiry. Is the government is putting forward even that point to answer that question, to find out how are we going to find out if these people are affected?
Let us hear out that resolved in Parliament. Yeah, let us hear out that resolved in Parliament.
So yeah, are we ignoring the people's problem?
No, but I don't. You were listening to the senator?
Listen, because Mr. Chairman, I mentioned that you have Faho, which is independent.
Yes.
Independent body.
You know, I will end this discussion, Councillor. The eyes of it. But you know, just a comment. Just a comment. Sorry. Oh, Councillor Reid. Councillor Reid. I'll recognize the member from the Public Health Department.
Chairman.
It's scary.
Chairman, as a member of the management team of the Health Department and the Ministry of Health, I fully support Councillor's position and Councillor Sinclair and directing the energies of the country and in Western Jamaica in particular into repairing the facility. At primary health care, we would have been absorbing most of these patients, and good things are happening at these health centers. In fact, at type 5, because of our batch appointment, the waiting time for patient has been drastically improved. The health centers, Catronal and type 5, would have increased hours from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And we are managing well. But I am in full support of the councillor and members here. So, Director Energy is improving the facility.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I will entertain no further discussion on this matter. Can I now get a motion to move us to? I will. Right, good. Let me have some. Councillor Thomas, I will entertain.
I just need to ask one question.
Is it pertaining to CRH?
Yes, Mr.
No,
Chairman.
I won't entertain that.
Mr. Chairman,
bring it up on the new matters.
Okay, Mr.
Good.
Chairman.
Thank you. Mayor's announcement. And quite a bit has been said already. But let me recognize the action of the government and the leader and the opposition to agreeing to for the extension of the state of emergency in this parish. I want it to be recorded that as a municipality, we are fully behind the continuation of the state of emergency in the parish. There are Labor Day is upon us once more, and Labor Day activities are as follows. There will be a church service at Holy Trinity Anglican Church on Sunday, the 20th of May, 2018 at 8 a.m. All councillors are welcome. Okay, there's no, we need to see all councillors. Let us make a special effort. There will also be a wreath laying ceremony on May the 23rd at 8 a.m. Floral tribute at Sam Sharp Square in honoring Sam Sharp and his freedom fighters. That is at 8 a.m. on the 23rd of May. From there, we will move to our 2 signature projects for the parish. Because as you all know is that this year, theme for Labor Day is ramp it up and fix it up. And we'll be focusing on health and education. And for the health project, we'll be looking at doing some work, doing some facelift for the Type 5 clinic that has been doing a tremendous work during this challenging time as a result of the closure of Cornwall Regional Hospital. And I think it is one of the clinic that needs some attention from the municipal cooperation and superintendent. There are quite a bit of work to be done, and I would advise that we start those work by next week, where we can get them out of the way. I saw you making an indication. I have sent out some letters, and I'm sure that we'll be getting some good answers.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we went on the site, yes. Representative from the department went there with Mr. Wallace, and then they indicated the scope of work that needs to be done, and it is a tidy amount.
Yeah, well, we don't want to do it all at once.
There's also a request for the Payne Street to be reopened, yes, to access the Type 5, and we will be looking on that from a different funding from the local revenue.
Okay. So the opening of that, would it facilitate vehicular traffic or pedestrian?
Yeah. Chairman, as we would have been reporting here, the car park that is beside the entrance to the facility from Creek Street, we have been having numerous accidents, and sometimes if the emergency vehicle need to come into the facility, they are being obstructed by the taxis that come in and out. When the park is full, we want to use that as an emergency exit. You would have imagined on November last year, when we had that flooding, we could not access that area because of vehicles that would have been parked there, because there's a garage that is there. So we are asking for no parking, and so that we can use that also as an emergency.
You know, as you mentioned that, Superintendent, there is an entry. I don't know if it is Councillor. There is an entry. As you enter Payne Street, you make a left into the car park. Is that legal? Because what is happening is that the vehicles are coming down on Art Street and entering there. I have always seen it. I don't think it's legal. I think somebody has done something there.
It is allowed, the entrance to the park, that is to enter the park, but the problem that they're having is that people exiting from that location. So that's a Quick Street side that they're talking about, Council.
Okay.
The entrance is the parking, but what they are doing is they are coming out through that park.
Well, the problem needs
we have to write the operator,
yes,
and let him put measures in place to prevent that.
Okay. So we have Type 5 Health Center dealing with a Labor Day. That is the Labor Day project. And we have also the Lethe Primary and Infant School, with the focus will be on the infant school. Can you? Yes. Okay, good. So those are the 2 parish projects that that we'll be focusing on for Labor Day. I know there will be a number of other projects being undertaken by councillors across their respective divisions and other community groups. We need to have these projects registered with the Municipal Corporation. We will be having a Labor Day meeting tomorrow again at 11 a.m. At the end of that meeting, there will be a press conference to announce a number of Labor Day projects. So that's why it is important for us to have the registration of those projects. But the two that will be very topical will be Type 5 clinic and Lethe primary and infant school, with the focus on Lethe infant school. Well, I had said previously that the Walter Fetcher Beach is now open and the admission is adults, or adult 500, children 200. Let us not forget that June is hurricane month. The hurricane month starts in June, or the hurricane season starts in June. So there will be a exposition tomorrow at I think it's at the conference center down here, that those of us who can find some time should visit and get some first-hand information to the do's and the don'ts as it relates to this hurricane season. Based on information, it is expected to be a very active one. Last year was very active, but not in our year of the Caribbean. But we have countries now still haven't yet totally recovered, or some of them will never recover anytime soon. And let us take a more proactive approach as it relates to this year hurricane season. I know we have gotten the remainder of the committee funds from the Ministry of Local Government, and I would encourage councillors to focus on critical drains in your respective division so we can alleviate some level of flooding, especially the sinkholes. Those divisions that have sinkholes, we should endeavor to have those areas open up so it can absorb the runoffs. So that will conclude Mayor's announcement. I will now revert or continue on the matters arising. Municipal matters, Mr. Lee.
I have a referral from the Planning Committee, Mr. Chairman. I have 29 applications that are referred from the Planning Committee. The document is in circulation. All items on the list numbering 30. I'm asked to remove item 2 from the list, and the other 29 is therefore here for the approval of this committee. The applications have met all the requirement under the St. James Provisional Development Order 1982, and they are therefore presented for the approval of this committee.
Councillors.
Chairman, I wish to find out from Mr. Lee whether this schedule has on any of the items that came before the council physical planning meeting on Thursday. That's what I'm asking. Yeah.
To my knowledge, Mr. Chairman, Yes, these items were, well, some of them I would not be able to, but I'm sure the Director of Planning would be able to guide us into the ones that were presented at the last meeting.
Mr. Chairman, a decision was taken at the council meeting at the physical planning meeting on Thursday that certain things were to be done before that the schedule can come back. And the schedule is back. And you heard what the CEO said? Number 2 is off. Has been deleted. He didn't say what caused the deletion. So I'm going to ask that question. Why is number 2 deleted? Why is number 2 deleted? Who made the request? Let me hear the answer to that.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I defer that technical question to the Director of Planning to respond. With your permission, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, let me hear why number 2 was.
Chairman, the chairman of the planning committee asked for it to be deferred, yes.
Okay.
Good question, Mr. Lee. Deferred for what reason? The chairman has asked for it to be deferred. Why? What was the reason for its deferral? And why did you agree for it to be deferred? That you cross it off? Why?
Well, Chairman, when it was circulated here, and we were going through, he asked for a few of the plans to be pulled for him to look at, and he said he had some concerns about the layout of that particular structure that we would discuss further, and I think council meeting wouldn't permit, so we then agreed based on the fact that the applications listed here as to your instruction, as I was advised, a lot of these buildings are single-family dwellings, extensions, etc., and we have been getting the call. So, as was instructed, that we go through and then bring here to facilitate the smaller ones that can be dealt with, so that the clients could get those done. So that was my instruction.
I'm still not satisfied with the answer. But be that as it may, I am going to use it to make the point. Because if the Director of Planning agreed, I don't think he would be frivolous and agree to an unreasonable request. So you must have thought that the request was reasonable, I would think. But the bigger issue is that a decision was taken on Thursday with instructions for certain things to be done. Because there was an item which was on the list on Thursday, which is not on this list today. But I'm saying that that item which identified a based on the title. Well, let me put it, let me not go too much into it. A decision was taken for certain things to be done with the entire list. And if that is not yet done, it's a precondition to the list coming back to any meeting. So I want to know, for the record, if that precondition has been satisfied. And I'm going to tell you why it becomes very critical. Let me just finish. I'm not going to stand up. I went to a meeting of the Carl Gardens and Ironshore Citizens Association yesterday. And the issue touched upon the shooting incident where a person was fatally shot by the police. You know what one of the concerns raised at the meeting by a citizen, which I found very interesting and reasonable? They say, why are all these structures constructed on single-family properties? But there are several apartments. And the person said, why they are making that query is because when a person builds a single family dwelling,
and they live there, they will have greater desire to preserve their property, the value of their property. They say when a person builds a multi-family dwelling and have a whole heap of apartments, their main concern is the money. So wherever the money coming from, whether it's coming from people involved in all types of illegal activities, or as the case may be, it brings a greater possibility of undesirables coming into their community. And when you consider that particular property where the incident occurred, obviously the person who was there was an undesirable, and whoever facilitated him being in there is an undesirable too, because you allow man with 2 illegal firearms in your place, man who police put out, say them wanted, living in your premises. So, when the question came at me yesterday, I said to myself, you know that every time I go to a Citizens Association meeting, I don't see the director of planning, I don't see the superintendent, I don't see the CEO, and I don't see no building officer. I mean, they take the brunt of the blows. As a council, and I've always said it inside here. And so I'm tired of putting up with the foolishness that goes on in this municipal corporation, where persons know things, can see things, and it's like they want to participate in it, and that is what revealed itself on Thursday. And the fact, and I said it on Thursday, that what revealed itself, I am saying, compromised the list. And it went a little further. Because one of the building officers was sitting right across there, and I asked him a question. Do you draw plans for the St. James and submit to St. James Municipal Corporation? And the building officer could not tell me no. The building officer simply the fifth. What am I to assume from that? What any reasonable person is going to assume from that? If me ask you as a building officer, you draw a plan and submit to the municipal corporation after consultation with a very senior person, I am pleading the fifth. I nearly dropped down. I nearly dropped out of my chair. And I don't think I'm an unreasonable. Mr. Chairman, the list I am saying was compromised. That same officer name appear on the list, and that same officer in relation to what was asked to be taken off, he is the officer that is there. And I'm saying that this list must remain in abeyance. If it have any of those that are on the list from Thursday, because they have gone and compromised the list, the question I'm also asking is, if a decision was taken for a precondition to be met and it not met, why you submit back those names on the list? Submit some other name. Then submit some other application. And let the people know why it is that we're taking this position. The people must know that there are people in this municipal corporation and probably other municipal corporation that have compromised themselves. And they are compromising the integrity of the municipal corporation until we stand up and stop allowing that compromise to continue. And I use a nice word because the compromise, we could have easily changed it to another C word.
All right.
Could be easily changed to another C word. I am saying this.
So which are the ones? Because I am here, and I'm hearing you, and I've seen a number of, applications on here. If there are plans on this list that you think needs to be further looked at, then that's a different matter. But I don't think we should.
Mr. Chairman,
what
I'm saying, a decision was taken. A decision was taken. And I don't hear and I don't see the report. A decision was taken that the officers who were involved in it, in the preparation and submission of that list, should present a report. That includes the director of planning, That includes the superintendent, and that includes the officer who name appear as inspecting officer on several of these applications. And
So you're saying that the name of that inspecting officer,
huh?
one L. Allen.
That
So
L. Allen.
All those things, all those inspections.
Yeah, he is the person who will plead the fifth. He is the person who name appear on number 2 that they want to. The director of planning.
What was the problem with that plan?
Which plan?
Number 2. What was the problem with it in the initial stage?
No, this one here?
Yeah, number 2. Yeah.
No, what I'm saying, I don't think you're not getting it. We were just told by the CEO that number 2, which was presented on this list, is not to go forward.
Right.
In explaining, the director of planning said that request was made to him by the chairman of the committee, physical planning.
That's what the chairman on his own
and
can
he,
make that request.
hold on, no, not him alone. Mr. Director of Planning has agreed with the chairman that it should be deferred. So I see a line, it's not me draw this line, you know. This line is drawn by the director. So then, what I'm saying is that the director of planning, I don't think he is a frivolous person.
So can't we hear from the director of planning? Why is he objecting to this one?
Yeah, he sought to explain it a while ago.
No, I didn't get that.
Okay.
Yeah, make a point.
I was at the planning meeting.
Let us listen.
The issue that I recall that was raised by the councillor is that in the section where it has architect draftsman, were, allow me to finish please, there were some sections that had what appears to be the name of a company, but it did not have limited liability, LLT at the end, and he therefore asked that we include on the list the names of the architect or the company. We should write out the name of the company, for example, Modi Designed Construction Limited, and so that that section would be clearer for persons to understand. I know that that was the issue, and what I'm seeing on this list, all of those adjustments were made. And so I recall that was the major issue that the council raised having to do with the list. He was also concerned about whether or not the person who did the inspection was the same person who did the drawing. But I'm not seeing any of that appearing on this list here. I'm seeing 2 different names. So if you had a different understanding, then you can...
If I had a different understanding, is you don't...
I don't know what the list looks like.
Mr. Chairman, let me tell you what it is.
What I see
let me tell you what it was.
And I still can't get...
Let me tell you what it was. Let me tell you what it was.
Let me hear it.
Because what the CEO is saying is so way off base. And that is to show you that something is even... Alright. Man is the CEO, you know. The head honcho of the administration. He's the boss. But you hear what I'm saying? And he was in the meeting that showed the entire discussion, and he was the person who was consulted by the officer. But let me tell you what the problem was. There was a building application that was submitted. The building application was for a place at Bogue Heights. I know Bogue Heights to be a residential area. So I asked for the plan, the application to come. The application came. And when we looked on the title, there was a restrictive covenant on the title. If you stop talking and listen, if you stop talking and listen, you will understand. And you will understand the principle and how the decision came to be taken by the committee. When you look on the title, there's a restrictive covenant that says the only thing is facilitated there is a private dwelling. But on the same schedule, in the section that says type of building, it has commercial. It has commercial. So then, what was submitted from downstairs, after going through the technical people, signed off by the superintendent. The list was signed by the superintendent for Trevian Manning. Submitted for our approval, a commercial building application when the title for the property has a restriction that says only private dwelling. The building officer who did the inspection said he spoke with Mr. Manning, the director of planning, and Mr. Manning gave him some instructions to say, don't worry about it, I will deal with it. I spoke to Mr. Manning. The committee took a decision that Mr. Manning is to write a report, the superintendent is to write a report, the officer is to write a report as to how that situation could have arisen. I spoke to Mr. Manning, and Mr. Manning said, don't have that conversation with the building officer. So, Mr. Chairman, that particular item and the other concern that Mr. Lee made mention of is what caused some concern amongst the committee members. The building officer named L. Ali was present in the meeting. And I also asked the building officer, in fact, 4 persons, I asked each of them, do you draw plans and submit to the municipal corporation? He didn't answer. Then he consulted with Mr. Lee. And then he turned back to the committee. He spoke to you. I saw that he was speaking with you. And then he returned. I didn't say what he said to you. No. I said he spoke to Mr. Lee after the question was posed to him. And he then returned to us and said he is pleading the fifth. And Mr. Lee said we should not discuss that matter in this meeting. We must wait until it goes to HR.
Okay.
And we took a decision that in light of all of that, there was a sense of unease amongst the list, and so that there had to be an audit done on this list and all the applications that came up in that list. And I will maintain that position. A decision was taken, and until that is done, which they say they can have it done to meet next month meeting, then the list was set aside for that precondition to be satisfied.
And then
today, you know, Mr. Chairman, a list comes back, and the list has on it an item number 2 that has been crossed off, and it is also impacting upon an L. Ali, who is the same person who said that in PDP.
But there are several items that was on the L. Ali that they didn't cross off.
Listen to me now. Listen up.
Yeah.
The chairman said, when you look at this one, it says residential, single family. The size of it was a concern, and in fact, I asked Mr. Manning, bring the plan. That was over an hour and a half ago. You came right here, Mr. Manning, and I said, bring the plan.
Yeah, let me hear from, because
yes, a few issues, Chairman.
Address, but you know something. Sit down, Mr. Andre. I mean, Mr. I don't. Councillors, just listen. There was an issue on Thursday. There was an issue on Thursday as it relates to a particular property. There was an issue on Thursday as it relates to a particular property that was submitted as a commercial. It turns out to be that it was a residential area. But when I look at this list, that property is not on here. So I don't think we can honestly discuss. That is for another meeting or for another discussion and to be taken to another place. As it relates to item number 2, that the Director of Planning said we should omit that one. That is the one that I am interested in. Why are we, omitting that one? Yes, why are we omitting that one?
Chairman, as I said, if the chairman of the committee, and we are bringing the plans here, and if he has comments or he wants to discuss that further based on
but what is your comment on the matter?
The position...
What is your knowledge?
I looked at the plan with him, the same plan that the senator spoke of. It is outside there, and I told the senator that as well, and Councillor Magan came out, yes I did. And we went out there when I stepped out and looked on the plan. So he was looking at it, and based on the layout of it, he was saying that that plan, that the person could change it into a multifamily. So that was but because to facilitate, Chairman, to facilitate the movement of the other applications, I took the decision to say for the other plans, I would defer so that we can discuss it.
Mr. Mannings, I mean, I would not sit here. I would not sit here and think that what a person can do, because people can do so many things after the plan is approved. So if that is why we are going to take this plan off, as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't support us taking it off, because we have approved, just like what the Honorable Councillor said a while ago. I'm sure that most of those houses that now function as a multi-family houses, they all came here as single family. But where the problem lies is as it relates to supervision during the construction. And that is where I think that a number of our building officers are culpable. Because what was sent here, what we have approved, is not what is being constructed. I've seen it happen several times. But if the reason why somebody thinks that the person can convert the building into a multifamily, let us follow the process in terms of inspection. But I don't think we should omit this person from the list by virtue of what the chairman of the committee says. This is a substantive committee of the St. James Municipal Corporation. If the councillors are saying, well, listen, we will accept item 1, not item 2, and from 3 to 30, then fine. Right? But what I'm saying is that I did not know what those preconditions were. And what I'm not, hold on, Sally, just a minute. Just a minute. My position is that if there is a particular plan that there was a problem with, then we deal with that one. But if the majority of what was submitted here, there isn't a problem, then I would say let us approve these plans. Let us approve these plans as presented to us. And I am prepared to approve even the one that because I don't know if it is what the chairman of the committee has said. Well, if the councillors don't want to accept item 2, then fine. And then we can go further into item 2. But if the excuse or the reason why we must object or not carry this plan, what would prevent the person from still submitting this plan and doing what the chairman says he thinks he will do? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I need these plans to go through today, because these are plans that has been here, some from as far back as February, right? And we know that when persons, and most of these are in housing schemes, I see a school here, I see Vaughansfield Infant School, I see Cambridge Infant School, I see Triumphant Basic School, I see quite a number of institutions here. And I don't think we should delay these who don't have a problem with. So I'm saying, councillors, the list is before us. If there's a position that we omit item 2 from the list, then fine. But I don't think we should blanket the whole list. Yes.
Can you tell me in relation to 17, 18, and 19? 17, 18, and 19.
You have an objection with those?
No, just read for me 17, 18, and 19.
Yes.
And just tell me what you see written on the architect draftsman.
There isn't any.
Architect draftsman 17, 18, 19.
No, I think something going wrong here.
Sir. Oh, yes. 17, huh? 17, 18, 19? What you see written there, Mr. Chairman? Nature of work, David, nature of work. Yeah. Show you on this all. You confused and everybody confused.
Yes.
You work with that.
Yes.
You work with it. Tell me what you see written on the nature of work. So the nature of work, what's the nature of the work?
The nature of the work?
Yes. What you have written on your list? Where you have nature of work, 17, 18, and 19, what do you have written? Can you read it loudly for me, Mr. Chairman?
Design Jam Architect.
So Design Jam Architect. The technical team of the council has submitted a building schedule, and under nature of work is Design Jam Architect. These are the foolishness that is happening downstairs. Part of the foolishness. And Mr. Chairman, have Mr. Lee. Hold a second. Yeah, man. Mr. Lee just told you that the issue was that they wrote on the list pseudonyms, right? That's the pseudonym. Design Jam Architect. This, Mr. Chairman, just give me a second now. Mr. Chairman, give me a second.
Within all fairness,
Mr. Chairman,
we know that typo can always happen.
Yes.
And this is one
Mr.
such
Chairman,
thing.
just take it easy. Take it easy. But we're talking about, we're talking about technical people. We're not talking about lay people. That is presenting for presentation. That means that we're going to accept all types of sloppiness.
I don't think that
Mr. Chairman, let me make a second point.
Yeah.
If you don't think that is a point.
Can point it out for,
Let me show you.
corrections.
Let me show you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Mr. Lee made a comment to say that the issue on Thursday was about pseudonyms. Pseudonym meaning to say Design Jam, you appreciate it. That was an issue. It come back on the schedule. It is back. So let me move this into the right column. The same issue, one of the issues is the same thing that is back here, which there was a concern of the committee about. All right. You know what? You know what some persons, you know what some persons, you know what they have done now? Are you right, Hispanic?
No.
All right.
I want to pass all of them.
So, Mr. Chairman, now, my list that I have this one, and this is the list from Thursday. Same design, jam architect written here. And then, on this one, somebody came in here and write limited, but then put it only on one. Because I'm looking on Deputy Mayor's zone too. And Deputy Mayor's zone don't have anything on it. So somebody come in here now and I try to say, boy, you know, say that it was the problem. So let me squeeze the team and I write it in. Mr. Chairman, a decision was taken, a precondition was established, and I'm saying that the precondition must be. And what we see is a continuation of the stoppiness. Continuation of the stoppiness.
If there was a precondition.
But guess what, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Guess what? I always say, I say what I have to say. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. I am trying to get a correct approach and a protection of the integrity of the council. If you want to pass it, you go ahead and pass it. You go ahead. Put it to the council. You'll be certain that you probably get the votes. But I'm voting against it today.
All right. Councillors, please. We have been on this.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
We have been on this for quite some time. Right? But the thing about that, this list that was presented and the argument that was raised by Councillor Sinclair as it relates to a particular, I can only address what is on this list. I can only address what is on this list. I cannot address the one that is there on Thursday. I can only address what is now before me. And this is what I'm prepared to go with. This list that is in front of me. I will accept the position. Sorry. No, listen. I will accept the position that item 2, we should not take it at this meeting. But I would say that we should not allow all these persons and institutions who have submitted their plans here, unless we can find some other compelling reason why we cannot approve these plans. Then that is it. But let us approve item 1, omit item 2, and item 3 to 30. So can I have a motion?
So we are going against the principle.
Let us deal with the principle. The principles can be dealt with at another level, you know, because what I think should be done, you know. No, Mr. Councillor. What I think should be done, if the situation has arisen to the point where you are inferring that some level of corruption is in place, with having these pseudonyms, having members who are employed to the St. James Municipal Corporation involved in this type of activities, then my suggestion is that you write a report to the municipality, and then we will take it from there in the form of an investigation. And that is my position on this matter. But we should not allow these persons to be out there. People borrow money from bank, getting things. So the position is that, councillors, there are building plans. The listing is with you. I am asking for a motion on this matter. Of course, move the motion. Can't allow this. Councillors, there is a motion on the floor.
There's no motion on the floor. And nobody has moved a motion.
No, but I'm asking.
You're asking.
Yes.
Nobody has moved it. So get somebody to move it.
Can I have somebody to move a motion on the floor?
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move a motion first, though. Despite the discussion and despite the discussion regarding the uncertainty surrounding some of the items on this list.
No.
I'm moving a motion that we accept this list barring number 2.
Can I have a second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Those opposed?
Those opposed? Well, we know. Yes, thank you. Yes.
How many? Can we get a phone? Can we get the guys that are coming?
Hold on. Let us.
Mr. Chairman.
Councillor, just have a seat. Just have a seat. Just have a seat, Councillor. Councillor Sinclair, you just have a seat, man. You have been dragging this thing all along. A motion has been moved, seconded. Those in favor, let me see your hands. A show of hands. Put up your hands instead of you counting. Just count the hands, Mr. Lee. Those, put up your hands on. Yes. Those who are against. Those who abstain. The motion is the motion is carried. Right. Thank you. Any other matters, Mr. Lee? Any other matter? Yeah. There's a subdivision matter here, please. Please, councillors, listen, man. If we listen, we would understand what is happening. Councillors, there is a subdivision for first approval. And remember now, for first approval, it will have to be sent to the ministry. Can I have a motion, please? All in favor? Let me see the hands who are in favor. Let me see the hands who are in favor. Don't come for me, Mr. Lee. Let me see. Don't hold on. There's a motion on the floor. Yes.
In relation to this one, in respect to this one, is this the one that they were asking? There was a discussion that came up about a road that is supposed to move from Granville that takes you up to Temple Gallery. Was this it? Huh? And there was supposed to have been some meeting and discussion, and there was supposed to be some advice that's supposed to come from the technical people. In fact, Mr. What's his name? Mr. Whittaker said that because what they're seeking is an amendment. But they said when you get an amendment, let's explain what was said by the technical person in the meeting. When there is an amendment that is being proposed, it starts over the entire application. I'm just telling you what was said. Because we were told that there's a roadway that is supposed to come down and link up back with Temple Gallery Road. And they said that that was not in the condition.
No.
So the technical persons were giving us some advice, and there was supposed to have been some better advice that would come here. Because I said, for next week Thursday meeting,
let us hear the better advice. Let us hear the better advice. And let us hear the correct advice.
Yes. Chairman.
Yes.
The subdivision is the existing one that Gore is doing currently. And I think we're, so we take the point about the amendment is that is not, yes, is with regards to some of the buildings, the letter that was said that was laid out 12 of the buildings that were laid out by the surveyor, based on how they were laid out, they would breach 2 of the conditions that were imposed. So, but what he was trying to explain that because we couldn't just carry it to the meeting and say that we are amending those 2 by ourselves. It has to go back to NEPA and NWA. So that is the process that it has to go back. It meant go back through the process and go back to NEPA and NWA for their comments and here again send to the minister. So it's not a decision that the committee could just take locally to do. We would have to consult partners about those 2.
So it would have to go back to where
it was sent back. It was sent back to NEPA with regard to, and they gave the and NWA who the 2 conditions were imposed by, and they gave their favorable commendation. So it's not the entire development, Chairman. It was just
we understand all of that, and the question that was being raised is whether the concern that the concern about the road is something that if that could be something that is inputted at this stage. That was the concern, and the comment from the technical person was yes, because it in effect is a process that has to go back to all of
said yes.
Yeah.
So we're saying get the advice and come
Yes,
and
but
tell
that's
us.
why I am. That's why I'm. Yes, so I'm advising. I am advising. As I advise, in that development, on the development, there is a road on the subdivision plan that would carry you through that links back. The development does link to the Temple Gallery Road on the subdivision approval. And is that yeah, because the development because it's gated. But it cannot go back through all of those. As I said, the application was for the amendment of those 2, so it cannot be that the lots have been laid out and the approval, so it could not be changed with that he was saying, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So the
Yes.
And a discussion had ensued regarding a developmental road for the Greater St. James that passes through that region. And however, this is being reported or subdivided as a subdivision, and as such we were asking, can this not be included or added, or the changes be made now? Let me finish. Now to satisfy the development and the future needs for the parish of St. James. That is one. And it was reported that once the change is taking place now, the entire subdivision has to go over, right? So that was the question being asked. Is it going to be a blocked road, meaning you close off the road from vehicular traffic, so no future road can go through that area, or it is going to be open? That was the discussion. Secondly, I remember from this discussion, Mr. Mayor, is that what we recognize is that we keep getting back feedbacks from all other agencies. But what we have to also recognize when we look at these plans, we have to look at what the development for St. James is and what the plans of the locals. And at the same time, our recommendations and objections must go to the other agencies, to some of the approvals that they are sending to us here for St. James. Because this is some of the cases where they, in Kingston or wherever, make recommendations, send them, we rubber stamp them and move forward.
Let us focus on this part.
All of it took place in this same discussion. It's the same discussion that all of this take place in. So all we asked for at the committee, Mr. Chairman, was to look at it comprehensively. Don't just usher it through based on the one request which was made, I think, for some relocation, some 12 houses that were built in the wrong location. And we're changing the development for that. But look at the fundamental overall change that is required to make the development better for the future when the corporation take it over.
If my memory serves me right, these 12 lots, because I was a part of the discussion, not last month, but the month before. These 12 lots, there was some, as a result of the roof, it hung over. So as a result of that, it would fall outside that covenant. So what they are now seeking to do is to change the covenant technically on those 12 lots. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, you are correct, and we have no problem with that compromise. We don't have a problem with the compromise, Mr. Chairman, because it is a compromise. However, what we are saying, there are other concerns that was brought up about the subdivision. Can we include them now? That's the question, Mr. Chairman.
What were those concerns?
The true road was one of the concerns, Mr. Chairman.
But is this a gated community or not? Mr. Man, is this a gated community?
Yes, Chairman, it has been designed as a gated community. There's a security gate at the front that is...
But has it been approved, the development, has it been approved as a gated community from its inception?
Yes, for this one.
So it has been approved as a gated community?
Yes.
So at the time when this was approved, was there any objection to it being a gated community?
No, Chairman.
So, have you seen anything to say that there's a road that is, because sometimes we talk some things and it's not really is what we would like to say.
Chairman, from we heard the discussions, the original owner of the property we asked if he's aware of any, if it was designated so, we could get anything in writing or documentation so that we could have.
So have you seen anything in writing?
I haven't seen no.
Councillor,
I haven't seen it.
Let us not get ourselves caught up in what persons might be thinking. Let us look at what we have there as the facts now. There's nothing to say that there is any intention to put a road through this place. And if government wants to put a road through it, they can acquire what is there and put a road through it. I don't think that there's a problem. There's a new road now being talked about. And that road, based on my understanding, should be coming somewhere in that area to grab the Granville traffic, to grab the Irwin traffic, and put them down Temple together and take them across wherever they want to go. So I don't know. And if it's not on the original plan, or there isn't anything in the developmental plan to say that a road was slated for this location, why are we sitting here and just like how we think that the man might build multi-purpose apartment when he submit something else? I don't know. I can't make my decision based on what somebody have in mind or somebody might be thinking. Right? We have to make our decisions based on what is in front of us. So the subdivision for first approval is before us. We have a motion. Move, second. All in favor? The ayes have it. Mr. Lee. Certificate of compliance, chart application, affixing council seat. Okay, you do?
The appointment of a new chief of staff of protocol and the head of the Chancery of the Order of Societies of Honor. They are announcing that Ambassador Eleanor Felix CD, he has demitted office, and the new ambassador is Miss Sandra Grant Griffiths, and they gave a number if you want to get in touch with the ambassador for state of protocol and ceremonial matters. You should contact the new chief of protocol.
Well, I think,
and the number is given.
You should have that just in case.
So it's just for
that is for your prerogative.
All right.
And I'm sure that the ambassador might at one point pay a courtesy call on us. Anything else?
No, Mr. Chairman. That's
okay.
Resolutions.
Resolutions from our corporation.
We have response from the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation, and it's with respect to the resolution for the establishment of a development impact fee, and they have noted the resolution. That's the only one.
So is there any other? Is there another?
There were some notices, Mr. Chairman, that were served at our last meeting.
Yes.
The persons who have served those notices, they would have to come to present their resolution. So it
And
is
they are not
at
here.
this time.
Okay.
Yes, Council. All right, so they have been deferred.
So you have one
Council,
deputy? Yes.
Just before we go, Council Kerry Thomas, a notice was served at the last meeting. You withdrawing it? No, it was a meeting before. Yes. The withdrawn? Yes. Tell the chairman so that we can enter it in the record.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We record the notice which was served.
All right. Okay. Appreciate it. Deputy Mayor.
Yes, Chairman, thank you. I'm serving notice, councillors. I'm serving notice for a resolution to be tabled at the next sitting for the municipal corporation to employ an in-house lawyer.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. We are now down to new matters.
Chairman.
Mr. Chairman. Yes, I know. Mr. Chairman, I just want to give notice. I don't have a resolution. I want to give notice. I'm giving the notice now for the renaming of Quebec Drive to Dr. Armstrong Boulevard for our next city.
What?
Dr. Armstrong Boulevard.
Where, Quebec Drive?
Yes.
But that's in Canada. Any other new matters?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I don't know we're going to this, but there's a lot of people in the agriculture sector that is crying out about pork not being sold, and they are being stuffed up and bind up with their product. I don't
Sure, we're
know.
not eating more healthier?
I don't know if people not eating or what, but the rumors is that there's a lot of imported pork, so we need to put it on the books for discussion, Mr. Chair. And as a farmer, of course, I am experiencing such.
What I would suggest you do, Councillor, it is a topical issue. There's no doubt that you have some farmers who are crying out, but I don't think the Adventists will be crying out on this one. But what I suggest you do, I know a lot of Adventist farmers who wear pigs, right? But what I would suggest you do, Councillor, there's some merit in your argument. I would suggest you do the necessary investigation, and you could bring it back here. Well, yes, as a motion, because the thing about that, if you are encouraging our farmers to produce, and one of the ways in which they are producing is to be rearing small stock, to include pigs. It is very unfair for imported meat, pork, to be coming in to, restrict those farmers from selling their pigs. So it is something I can't say is happening, but it is always a complaint that imported meat is coming into this country. And if you look at the public health report, it will tell you that we are importing a large amount of meat in this country. Right? A large amount of meat. I agree that there are some special cuts that you know, we have a challenge in getting it up to that standard. But I still think we have the sweetest pork.
Yes, I agree. We'll do the investigation, Mr. Chair, and see how we take it from there.
Any other new matter? Okay. Yeah.
Resolution. You alright, Mr. Lee? For persons in the care of the infirmary who have been here for an extended period of time without family visits, for the government to take the assets after they have passed on. Right? So I'll put it together for the next.
Okay, good.
Right?
Any other new matters?
No, Mr.